All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite time of the week. It's cocktail time with Tim Laird, the Sultan of the Shaker, King of Cocktails.
Hello, MJ and Jesse. It's cocktail time. And, I was really digging in for the cocktails. We've done all kinds of cocktails. And I went through the cocktail archives, and I forgot about this one. It's one of my favorites. It's called Bourbon Noir.
Ooh.
And and you're going to hear about these ingredients. You're going to go, that doesn't work. Let me tell you, this is one of my favorite cocktails. I'm so glad I rediscovered it, and it's really pretty easy. Basically, shaker with ice, our starter, ounce and a half of your favorite bourbon. Boom. Then here we go. Here's the noir part. 3 ounces Pino Noir. Now you're going, what? But I'm telling you, hold on. 1 ounce of simple syrup. We're going to sweeten it up a little bit. And then a splash of fresh lemon juice. Just a little, just about like that. Now I'm going to give this a good shake. And you're wondering, how does bourbon and Pinot Noir, how does that work in a cocktail? And I'm telling you what, because of the sweetener and a little bit of the acid in the lemon, it is unbelievable. And look at that color.
It's got a nice.
You got to give it a good shake. And I usually garnish this with a lemon twist, or you could use a lemon wedge. A twist really looks nice in here. But anyway, so cheers, Bourbon Noir. Doesn't that look good?
Oh, it does look good.
But how does it taste?
Wow. You've got to try this. You will not believe it. I mean, just that beautiful color. It's just, I don't know. Let's see.
You have to try it. You have to experience it to know. That's
yes.
How this is going to go.
I get a little bit of the wine, a little bit of the bourbon, and but it shines through with the sweetener. It's almost like maybe a take on a Manhattan too, because if you think about your sweet vermouth is wine based, and so we have the sweetener, we got the wine, so it's perfect, and the bourbon. But there it is, the Bourbon Noir.
You know what's great about this, Tim? It's like you've been in my house, because sitting upstairs right now, I have been experimenting with what I call adult juice boxes. So
yes,
tiny boxes of wine, boxes of wine, canned wine, whatever, trying to find ones that are good, and some of them are blah. So I have no problem experimenting by throwing some bourbon in. This is recycling in my house.
Oh, I'm telling you, it really is good. And I'm so glad I rediscovered this, because I forgot how good it was. And of course, always before the show, I double check just to make sure before I responsibility to make sure that it really is good. And when I did the test, it was phenomenal. So it has been thoroughly tested many times. And and what I love about this is it's fun, it's different, and I think your listeners will get a kick out of this one too, because it's just a nice twist on a traditional martini.
Bourbon.
Well, there's two things I like about this. One, the color and the name. We were talking about Halloween, and people started to think about that. I mean, a Bourbon Noir sounds so much better than some crazy Halloween name beverage that people will throw it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, This sounds like you know what you're doing, right? But it's still got that kind of flair, and like you have with the black napkin. I mean, I'm seeing some Halloween, what you could do with it. And how many times do we hear these ridiculous things about you've got leftover wine, make ice cubes out of it or whatever, make a cocktail.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I'm telling you. And you know what? I think even a Merlot would work if you want. I do like the Pinot Noir, but I think most red wines will work with this. So, and it really tastes, I guess I got to say, sophisticated. It's just a wonderful, sophisticated cocktail. And it even sounds like a Bourbon Noir.
It does.
But it is good. I tell you. Your listeners have got to try this Bourbon Noir. It really is simple. We'll send you the recipe, and I can't describe it. You need to try it yourself.
All right, so what I'm hearing is y'all have homework. So here's the deal.
Right.
As always, you might hear about this on the radio. And if you do, you need to go over to YouTube. And if you're already on here, hello, like and subscribe because we got all Tim's cocktails up here, so that you can go through and go, oh, I rediscovered this one that I forgot that I like, and then you too can run around your house going, Muffy, would you like a Bourbon Noir?
I love it.
And I like that because, you know what, there's a dilemma. Oh, you know, I'm thinking about a cocktail, but what should I have? And you know, try something new. Everybody goes back to their same old, same old.
Yeah.
This will take you out of your cocktail same old. It gives you something new and exciting.
I like it.
I like that, and like I said, I've got an adult juice box that's I'm already writing Bourbon Noir on there because I tried it last night. It's not good. It's not good for anything else at this point. So, Tim, we always cherish our time in the Libation Lab. The cocktails, which are fun to experiment with, enjoy responsibly. And even if we can't be social together, at least distantly, we can be social and still have a good time.
Absolutely. Yes. So cheers, you all. And hey, actually, if your listeners are having happy hour Zoom meetings, boom, bring this one. Something different.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Stand out. I like it.
Right.
Can you imagine your next work happy hour? What are you having? I'm having a Bourbon Noir.
No, in our bunch, they'll all have them.
Yeah, you've got great listeners, so I'm sure they're well stocked at home. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim. That is a fun one. Now, okay, so how do you even go about creating that? Wine and bourbon.
It was gosh, you know, I always loved wine. And we used to make, you know, I was thinking sangrias, right? I mean, sangria is basically red or white wine based, and they add brandy to it. Mm-hmm. So I thought, oh my gosh, it's kind of a thumbprint of a sangria, and I love sangrias, but this is basically kind of the thumbprint of a sangria, but not too sweet. So because I think sangrias have a lot of sugar and again, there is that brandy that's in there, well, a lot of fruit too. So the thumbprint of this drink is a sangria, and I thought, let me experiment with wine and bourbon and add a little sweetener and a little bit of citrus, and it's perfect.
I just picture a scenario. It's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the Laird household. Party is just wrapped up. It was another fantastic soiree. This is pre-2020. You and Lori are picking up, and you're like, man, we got all this Pinot. What do we do with it? I don't really feel like it. And you're like, maybe throw a little bourbon into it. You know, maybe
a little of this.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad. Need a little. Like I just pictured this is like after a quality Tim Laird gathering. That's where this comes. Your explanation sounds even more plausible, but I just picture this was like, hey, Lori, what do you think? Bourbon in this? What do you think? No? Yeah. I'll give it a go.
I think you're a little more accurate than what my description was. Oh, the best drinks are using leftovers, whatever's available. Oh, there's some of this left, some of this left. Oh my God.
Make it work.
I certainly think there are like 3 ways that some of your cocktails come about. One is through tried and true testing, you know, using that base knowledge that you have, you know, what you're an expert at. 2 is the scenario that I just put forth where, you know, it's after a party and you're like, I wonder. And then the third, I imagine somewhere along the line is a bet. You know what, Tim? No, I bet you can't do wine and bourbon. There's no way. And you're like, well, here, hold my cocktail.
You're right. That's
the 3 scenarios where all your cocktails come from.
You're absolutely right, because I get those challenges. You know, like you said, the bet, whereas, I bet you can't do this. And then, of course, I say, well, we can. And I guess if I would say there's a 4th, it would be accidental. It's kind of like, you know, science, you know, when they create something, it always happens accidentally, you know, whether it's penicillin or whatever. some accident creates something. So I've just thrown some things together by accident, and then it works or doesn't work. So
Tim,
that would be the fourth.
Tim created penicillin one night mixing cocktails. He's still not sure how he did it, but there he goes.
Life
I had my
changing.
lab coat on.
Hey, you know what? We never know. At this point in 2020, the cure for COVID could come from the libation lab. I'm still holding out hope, buddy.
We'll be working on it.
All right. Well, as always, we certainly appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time, and always something new to try. Always some fun. And you know what? At the very least, out of 2020, we might come out of this a little bit more sophisticated, or at least with a deeper bar.
That's right. I love it. That's great. Well, thank you all.